And in Ecclesiastes 5:8-9 says, if you see the poor oppressed in a district and justice and rights denied, do not be surprised at such things. In our society nowadays, even especially in Philippines and even in Africa, right? Amen? You can see the distinction of rich people and those oppressed people. Especially in Philippines, if you want to get rich, you need to join politics. You want to get some more money. You may enter politics or showbiz or sports, and see the oppression for the poor in the Philippines. Nowadays we have the issue in water. Those oligarchs are taking advantage of the poor people. So even in Africa, a lot the system of politics is oppressing to the poor, right? Amen. But the Bible said, now listen to rich people, weep and wail because of the misery that is coming on you. I will just read those in the reds to shorten time. You have hoarded wealth in the last days. Look, the wages you failed to pay, the workers who move your fields are crying against you. The cries of the harvesters have reached the ears of the Lord Almighty. See, God is not blind. God is not deaf to see the oppression of His people. Keep on praying to God, and one day you will hear His answer. You may ask me, maybe you will ask, Lord, I'm a Christian, but why am I living in this stage or in this status of my life? I'm doing my servitude to you, but why am I living in this status? You may ask the Lord, where's the justice, Lord? Right? God did not promise when you become a Christian. God did not promise to us that when we become Christian, we will all get rich financially, materially. Blessing doesn't mean materially rich. And materially rich doesn't mean they are blessed. There's a lot in our society, there's a lot of people who are billionaires, but they don't have God, right? Amen? And there's a lot of Christians who doesn't have a million, but they testified as if they own the whole world, right? That's the joy of serving God. In Ecclesiastes 5:10 said, in Ephesians 6:5-9 said, slaves, obey your earthly masters with respect and fear and with sincerity of heart. And in verse 9, masters, treat your slaves in the same way. Do not threaten them, since you know that He who is both their masters. What I'm trying to show here is, this is all brethren. In our family as Christians, don't expect that being in a relationship with God, we will all be masters. Look at this in the church. God is telling to the slaves to obey the earthly masters. Slaves before, nowadays the modern meaning of slaves is, we will not all be company owners in this church. Maybe in our life we will still like employee, but we need to act our calling. Ecclesiastes 5:10 said, whoever loves money never has enough. Whoever loves wealth is never satisfied with their income. This too is meaningless. Don't get me wrong, my brothers and sisters. Being rich is not a sin. Being rich is not a sin. If your calling is to become David, or if your calling is to become Solomon, if your calling is to be rich, then use your richness to glorify God. But if your calling is to be simple life, to live simple life, glorify God in your simple life. What's important is we should know our calling. Actually, the Bible said and warned the people who are rich to be warned and be careful because it's difficult to serve two master. Do you think being rich as a Christian is like it's an easy gift? No, it's a big responsibility. How you are going to divide your time to maintain your status quo while serving God. That's why the Bible warned us that those people who are rich, they will pass through the needle eye. It's not just a gift, it's a difficult cross for them to bear. And being rich is not sin, because what is sin is the love of richness, the love of money. Even Jesus, when he became humankind, he uses money to pay taxes, to buy foods, right? But he didn't love money. This is the warning of the Bible: do not love money, because this is meaningless. For the love of money is the root of evil. Some people eager for money have wandered from the faith and pierced themselves with many grief. Ecclesiastes 5:11 says, "As goods increase, so do those who consume them. And what benefits are these to the owner except to feast their eyes?" Nowadays, our society, look at our society. Statistically, the number of people who are committing suicide doubles. The number of young children who are depressed from age 10 to 14 has become doubled. The number, even the young kids become depressed. Why? Our society nowadays is so consumed of technology. Look at they can see the social media. The reason why there's a lot of people who are depressed, because they can see, oh, my classmates is becoming richer and I'm on this status. We can see, we keep on comparing nowadays ourselves to our friends, to our colleagues. The reason why, statistically, the number of depressed people nowadays is increasingly. And this is the society, and the Bible is warning us of this. Ecclesiastes 5:12 said, "The sleep of a laborer is sweet, whether they eat little or much. But as of rich, their abundance permit them no sleeps." While reading this verse, I remember our client in Fujaya, the family of the ruler. Those princesses, they don't sleep at night because they cannot sleep. They usually sleeping in daytime. That's why if we need to arrange meeting with them, we need to wait for like 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock, because that's the time they will wake up. Because they are awake at night and they can't sleep because their life is so miserable. Even though they have the richness of Pujera, but they are lonely. They are sad. They cannot find the satisfaction in life. I have seen a grievous evil under the sun, wealth hoarded to the heart of its owner, and wealth lost through some misfortune. So then, when they have children, this is the warning of the Bible. Do not store up for yourselves treasures on earth, where moths and vermin destroy, and where thieves break in and steal. The Bible is reminding us that our citizenship is not on earth. Our citizenship is not on this earth. Our citizenship is in heaven. Imagine, we are all OFW here. Imagine all your salary, all your incomes you spend to decorate your dead space. You can buy a lot of high-tech technology there, having that space. And you consume all your money there, and you didn't spend to purchase a lot or to buy a house. But so when you go back to Philippines, you have your own house. Imagine all your money you spend here, and we cannot be a citizen in this country, my brothers and sisters. Do not forget we are Filipino, and we will go back to our homeland, just like what we are now on earth. This is not our citizenship. We are like OFW here. Invest our treasure to our homeland. Where is it? In heaven. The Bible is telling us this morning. No one can serve two masters. Either you will hate the one and love the other, or you will be devoted to one and despise the other. That's why I told a while ago that being rich is not the same, but it's really a cross we need to bear if we are called to be rich. Because it's really difficult. I dealt with billionaires in our client bills. I saw their life. It's really difficult for them to maintain their status quo. Their children are depressed because why? They travel from one country to another country. They have houses in different places in the world. That's why their children doesn't have friends, because they cannot establish a relationship because they need to travel to maintain those wealth. If you are a Christian with that kind of wealth, how difficult to serve God, right? Solomon also said, "Go to the ant, you sluggard, consider its ways and be wise. It has no commander. Yet it stores its provision in summer and gathers its food at harvest." Saving for our future, saving some money for our needs during trials, period, is not the same. Even Solomon acknowledged the ants. He said, "Look at the ants. They don't have leaders, but they know how to save for summer." While we are in the harvest time, while our job, our opportunities are good, we need to save some money. That's why God is giving us the ability to get wealth. God is not giving us instantly the wealth. We need to manage what we have. Sometimes people are asking, "Lord, I cannot feel that you're blessing me. Lord, my salary is still the same. My salary is not increasing." When I asked God for a house during my first year in Dubai, He answered my prayer in the midst of crisis. He answered my prayer in the midst of my salary deduction, half. Then He said to me, "Start building the house." During those time of 2008 crisis in Dubai, He answered my prayer. What He'd given me is not the amount. It's not the salary increase. What He'd given me is the wisdom to maximize those resources. Sometimes we are king of the material things, not minding that God is already blessing us of wisdom, how we will be satisfied of what we are having. Ecclesiastes 5:15 says, "Everyone comes naked from the mother's womb, and as everyone comes, so they depart." It's very important that we will take these verses into consideration in our life. Why a lot of people nowadays, and even Christians, backslide already. Why? They are so focused to gain treasures on earth. They are so focused on the life on earth. The reason why this world is really, Satan is using the wonders of the world, the richness of the world, to make us away from God, to lead us away from God. That's why always be reminded that, as Job said, everyone comes naked from their mother's womb, so they depart. In Timothy said, "All who are under the yoke of slavery," those who are, even in Timothy, there's an advice in the Bible, should consider their masters worthy of full respect. These are believing Christians, and still under. This is, in the modern days, this is not the slave. No, this is like we are still like this, living in serving our companies. We are not a company owner. Those who have believing masters should not show them disrespect just because they are fellow believers. What I'm trying to point out here is there are believing slaves and there are also believing masters. This is the facets of life in the church. Don't be misled that, "Oh Lord, I don't have my business." No, Lord, you're not blessing me. But godliness with contentment is great gain. For we brought nothing in the world, and we can take nothing out of it. This too is grievous evil. As everyone comes, so they depart. And what do they gain, since they toil for the wind? All days, their days, they eat in darkness with great frustration, affliction, and anger. Moreover, I just want to highlight this verse 19. Moreover, when God gives someone wealth and possession, and the ability to enjoy them, to accept their lot and be happy in their toil, this is the gift of God. My brothers and sisters, don't keep on comparing yourselves to those people. Oh Lord, why this, my boss, he's not serving you? He's not believing on you. And why is a billionaire? Why is why I'm praying for $1.5 million in my bank account. I even have this delayed salaries. Look at this person. Even you have the billions or trillions in the world, but God will not enable you to enjoy it. You can say, you can call this a blessing. Look at what we have now. Being Christian, we are so content that when we receive our salary on time, we are praising God in the midst of congregation. We are praising God when we receive our 1,000 bonus. Right? Invite a billionaire who's not believing God here. They will laugh at us. Why? Why your people only 1,000? They're so happy. And then Ecclesiastes 1 said, I have seen another evil under the sun, and it weighs heavily on mankind. God gives some people wealth and possession and honor so that they lack nothing. But God does not grant them the ability to enjoy them. And instead, a stranger. Who is that stranger? Being a Christian. We are those strangers. We are testifying that when our companies give us, your boss will give you 1,000 bonus this Christmas. Before Christmas, we're already testifying here in church. Lord, I have that. Can you put price in the joy that you have? Joy doesn't have a cost. It's priceless. The joy you saw in the video, those smiles of the kids who are eating leftovers. It's the same joy that this billion people are paying millions of money just to have these smiles on their face. But we as a Christian have this satisfaction. Why? We have this position in Christ. We know our calling and we know our status in heaven. Proverbs 10:22 said, the blessing of the Lord brings wealth without painful. This is how we need to define the richness of His blessing. It's not about the measurement of material capacity that you have, your buying power. No, it's not. It's not about the measurement of materiality. But it's the capacity that God is allowing you and giving you to enjoy what you have. And this is the blessing of the Lord. And He will add no trouble in it. Even though you are in the midst of crisis, you are in the midst of trial. Sister Joy is in the midst of trial right now. But look at how he led the praise and worship with this joy. Do you think if you are on her shoes, how we are going to praise God in the midst of this crisis? But God is giving her the ability to enjoy the situation that she has right now. Everyone toils is for their mind, yet their appetite is never satisfied. If we are so focused on this earth, you can never be satisfied. There's a God gave us the vacuum in our heart to long for a relationship to Him. You cannot fill that gap in our heart with material things. The reason why you can see in the media, you can see in the news, this billionaire or this famous guy, this famous singer committed suicide. This multi-million businessman committed suicide. even though they have the power, even though they have the wealth, but there's a vacuum in their heart that cannot be satisfied with material things. Only God can satisfy that vacuum He put in our heart. That's why we need to strengthen our relationship, our personal relationship with God, because that's how He will bless us. We will feel the blessing of the Lord if we are connected to Him. The message. So I say, I ask and it will be given to you. Seek and you will find. Knock and the door will be opened to you. For everyone who asks, receives. The one who seeks, finds. And the one who knocks, the door will be opened. Sometimes we are stopping on this verse only. And sometimes we get frustrated when we are praying for something and God didn't grant our prayer. This verse said, Lord, I follow you. You said, seek. Through prayer, I seek you. Through servanthood, I knock the door. I'm asking through prayer. But why am I having this? Because you stop on this verse. Continue on 11 and 12 to 13. And God said, which of you fathers, if your son asks for a fish, will give him a snake instead? Maybe the fish you are asking, in the eyes of God, it's a snake. Because God sees things differently. Sometimes, Lord, I'm praying for this job, but 1 year, I'm still having no job. Lord, is that a sin? I'm praying for this specific job. The purpose is genuine. I need this job to support my parents, my relatives, my loved ones. But why you're not giving this to me? I'm serving you. But why am I on this situation? Maybe in our eyes, that job is a fish. But in God's eye, if He will give that job to you, can God still find you inside church? Or if He asks for an egg, we'll give Him a scorpion. This is God. If I will give the key of the car to Caleb, there's nothing wrong, right? Because if he knows how to drive, right? There's nothing wrong with giving car key to my son. Actually, it's a blessing for him if I will give him a car. But if I will give the key without sending him in the driving school, do you think I'm giving him a gift? Or I'm leading him to destruction? This is how God works. How differently away from our perspective. And we are stopping there. Continue in verse 13. If then you are evil know how to give good gifts to your children, how much more will your Father in heaven give the Holy Spirit? He didn't say, when you think, when you find, when you knock, your wish is His command. What He promised is He will give you the Holy Spirit, that even though you don't receive from your creation, you will understand why you are not receiving this. This is the Holy Spirit, and in the Holy Spirit, all things are there. Amen. You receive material, it's from the Holy Spirit. He will not give, He will give you the ability to enjoy it, even if it's simple. Or even if He will not grant your prayer, He will give you the understanding why, and you will keep on serving and worshiping the Lord. And this is the great blessing of the Lord. And in Corinthians, but we have these treasures in jars of clay to show that this all surpassing power is from God and not from us. The reason why we are longing for these things, so that in our richness, the reason why God, when I was young, I asked God, Lord, why, if you are sending us to heaven, why you put us in our immortal body? Why you put us in our temporal body on earth? You know why? Because He will not bring another rebellion in heaven. Why? It's not a question for Satan, the existence of God. he has this free will and he has this pride to surpass God. The reason why God gave us this privilege to live on earth, because why? He will break this pride in our life before He will bring us to heaven. And when when we will see God face to face, we will not attempt to surpass God, to sit in His throne. Why? Because we experience to live humbly. Even though we don't see God, we experience. This is the reason why we take God. There's no purpose. If there's no purpose, why will He can send us directly to heaven to be with Him forever. The reason He will break, and the reason why, if you think you have this pride, I'm sorry, we will not enter the heaven. Because He will not allow, because we have a free will there, He will not allow again to bring anyone to heaven having this pride, having this dissatisfaction in life. But if we live life to the fullest, with the contentment of relationship to God, He is very happy waiting for us in heaven. For we know that if the earthly tent we live in is destroyed, we have a building from God, an eternal house in heaven. The reason why a lot of Christians are getting tired of serving God. Why? We cannot still see the fullness of His promise. Imagine you're applying for a company. You were promised to have a 20,000 salary in a contract of 5 years. 4 years, you still have not received that 20,000. What are you gonna do? You will resign, right? This is why we feel this. Because we cannot see how rich is the promise of God in heaven. The reason why we get tired, oh Lord, when can I see your promise? Look at these verses, the following verses. In Malachi, here's one of the famous verse we keep on telling or sharing to the congregation, because this is very important. Malachi chapter 6, I the Lord do not change, so you, the descendants of Jacob, are not destroyed. Ever since the time of your ancestors, you have turned away from my decrees. 8, but you ask, how are we turned to you? Will a mortal rob God? Yet you rob me in tithes and offering. Test me in this, says the Lord Almighty, and see if I will not throw open the floodgates of heaven and pour so much blessing that there will not be room enough for it. Okay, for new Christians, okay, I will try this. This is the secret of blessings. I will try this. And after few years of serving God, Lord, why I'm not still a millionaire? Instead, this is a big blessing. God is testing our obedience. Continue this chapter, and we will see the distinction. It will prevent pests, yes. God promised to prevent pests when we give our tithes. It's very important. He promised material blessing, and He will protect all our resources. God said, test me on this, but don't limit His promise to these verses alone. Continue this verse. After God is testing our endurance to hold on to the faith when we give tithes. The reason why is a lot of Christians, they just try to give tithes for 1 year, and when they are not satisfied, they will stop it. Oh, it's futile to serve the Lord. Why? Look at those next verse. You had spoken arrogantly against me, said the Lord. Yet you ask, what have we said against you? You have said, it is futile to serve God. What do we gain by carrying out His requirements and going about like mourners before the Lord Almighty? But now we call the arrogant blessed. Certainly doers prosper. Lord, I'm serving you, I'm giving my tithes. You will be tested to compare yourself to others. Why you're blessing this, my boss? Why he's living this life? And this is the price of the believers. And God answers them. Then those who fear the Lord talked with each other, and the Lord listened and heard. A scroll of remembrance was written in his presence concerning those who fear the Lord and honor his name. On the day of judgment, when I act, said the Lord Almighty, they will be my treasured possession. Don't limit the blessing, the promise of the Lord in doing this tithes and offering and serving Him to material blessing. Why? The ultimate test will be in the judgment day when you see the distinction between those who serve God and those who do not. You will, even if God gives you $1 million or $1 billion, you will always have a storeroom for that. Bank is always ready to accept your millions and billions. The real definition of this blessing, although this includes the material blessing, but the ultimate meaning of this blessing, where this description is, there is no room enough to store your blessing. It's when the day when we face God. When we see the distinction between those who follow with this command and those who do not. In heaven, we will not just sing there, we will not just worship there like this. If we have this complexity of life on earth, what more in heaven? When no eyes see, no ears have heard what God had prepared for those who love Him. Next please. I'm almost conclusion. I just want to lay down stop there. I just want to give 2 illustrations of those people in the Bible. Only 2 because for the lack of time. Who is David? David, sometimes if you're a new Christian, I want to be like David. Why? He started from rags to riches. The life story of David is so nice. He's the youngest. He started as a shepherd, and to provide his flocks, he's a shepherd. And shepherd those times is those like living in simple life. And David, as a warrior, the progress of his life, he became a warrior, right? I want to be like David. These are the conquests of David, the war that he won in the presence of God. David is a king. Look at how wealthy is David. Imagine these are the talents of God, his treasures shared to the church. If these are tithing to arrive at King David's worth, then just multiply it by 10 and you can imagine how rich he was. If you will stop on this only, sometimes, Lord, why am I living stuff? Because you are looking only on David. Let's see Paul. Paul started rich. He's a Roman citizen. Being a Roman citizen that time, you will have the privilege of all the facilities of Roman Empire. Being Roman citizen that time is like an American today. There's a lot of privileges. And Paul is one of them. You cannot send your kids to a school if you're not rich at the time. But Paul was educated by famous people in their society. But after conversion, he had this, of the Jews, 5 times received I 40 stripes save 1. Thrice was I beaten with rods. Once was I stoned, thrice I suffered. If you see these verses, if you're Paul, do you think you can continue serving God if you started this life like that? And you are in the brink of suffering because of Christ. If we do not know our position, we will be misled. You need to see the context. of the Bible, we need to see the calling, our personal calling. Don't just pick, oh, I want to be David. If you are not called to be David, maybe you are called to be Paul. If you don't study the life of Paul, you will not continue serving God. You may curse God. And what more shall I say? I do not have time to tell about Gideon, Barak, Samson, and Jephthah, about David and Samuel and the prophets, who through faith conquered kingdoms, administered justice, and gained what was promised, who shut the mouths of lions, quenched the fury of the flames, and escaped the edge of the sword, whose weakness was turned to strength, and who became powerful in battle and routed foreign armies. Lord, I want to be like them. They are heroes. Being Christian, I want to be like heroes. Women received back their dead, raised to life again. But you stopped on those, and you did not continue this verse. There were others who were tortured, refusing to be released, so that they might gain an even better resurrection. Some faced jeers of flogging and even chains and imprisonment. They were put to death. If you're living a Christian and you are tried on this situation, will you continue serving God if your model is only those heroes in the Bible? The reason why we need to know our personal calling. If we are called to be rich, then use your richness to glorify God. That's the cross you need to bear. If we are called to live simple life, then live this simple life to glorify God. They were put to death and stoning. If you are called to be a martyr, on that situation, do you think you can continue God without knowing your personal calling? They went about sheepskin and goatskin, destituted, persecuted, and mistreated. The world was not worthy of them. They wandered in the deserts and mountains, living in caves and in the hood of the grounds. If you read the history of the Christianity, even in the early period, in the medieval period, there's a lot of Christians live persecuted, living in hunger, but they continue to serve God because they knew their calling. These are all commended for their faith, yet none of them received what had been promised. Because why? They know that what was promised is in eternity. Corinthians, so we make it our goal to please Him, whether we are at home in the body, away from it. For we must all appear before the judgment seat of Christ, so that each of us may receive what is due us for the things done while in the body, whether good or bad. I will end up with this. Personally, we need to know our calling. Personally, and we cannot know this calling personally if we don't have connection with God. If we don't have this relationship with God personally, we will wander. God will not see how dramatic you were when you accepted Christ. He will evaluate how we will end up our relationship with Him on earth. And that's the judgment day. And lastly, personally, know your tools. What tools that we have? Money. If God is giving you the money as a tool to glorify Him, then use your money to glorify God. Don't get me wrong, it's not. Actually, if we are Christian, we need to strive to the very best of our ability. Why? So that others can see what we are doing and we can glorify our God because of those tools. But being excellent in any way, even if you're a servant, even if you're living a simple life, you can excel. You can be excellent in your life, glorifying God. So know the tools that we have. If God gave you the rake, don't use the rake to plow the field. It's specifically on what God is giving us. If God is calling us to be simple, then let's glorify Him in our simple life. And glory be to God, and may the Lord be glorified in our life.